Hello guys, welcome back to the Try Time Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Callum and here's the Salford Red Devils 2024 Super League season preview. So this is the 9th one of these we have done now, so go check out all the other ones that we've done before, and obviously we'll have a few more coming to finish them off before the start of the season. And yeah, I reckon we just get into who Salford have lost. So they have lost Matty Costello to Barrow, James Greenwood to Barrow, Brodie Croft to Leeds, Andy Ackers to Leeds, Rhys Williams to Swinton, Danny Addy to Fev, Joe Burgess to Hull KR, and Ken Seo, who is being released, doesn't have a club at the time of recording, which I will just say is 2 days before you've seen this. So if there's any new transfer business on Salford over the next 2 days, then that is obviously why it's not included in this. So first off, looking at this, we'll look at the two guys who've gone over to Barrow, so Costello and Greenwood, both bit part players for Salford, not going to be massive misses. Both spent time out on loan and stuff, so I do see why they've moved on. And again, I don't think it'll be the biggest loss for Salford. Then we've got, I'll then cover sort of like your Rhys Williams, again, in the same bracket. In his day, amazing, knocking on a little bit now. Wasn't first choice on the wing for Salford. So I can see why he's also moved on. Then you've got the two first choice wingers as well. So you've got Joe Burgess and Ken Seo, both were first choice at Salford. They were the wingers. They're two solid Super League winners. Wingers, not winners, sorry. And both great try scorers as well. So Salford are going to have to we'll go on to who they get in later, but they're going to have to replace them tries that these guys have been scoring. So they are big misses. Danny Addy to Fev, I think it's a miss. It's a player who they had there. Obviously, he's taken that step down to sort of semi-pro now, which is understandable for him at his stage in his career. But also, I do think that is a bit of a miss for Salford as well, really, because I think he still could cut it in Super League, basically. And then I guess we've got the big two, Andy Ackers and Brodie Croft, both going to Leeds. Now, obviously, you've got your star half-back in Croft, and then you've got your star hooker in Ackers, two of Salford's best 3 or 4 players last season, hands down. They have, I guess, attempted to replace these as we've come on to, but I do think they are massive misses. Like, look at Croft and what he can do, and we'll see how he gets on at Leeds, obviously, but he really was good for Salford, wasn't he? And Ackers, the same. Salford had a big hand in getting him to where he is to earn this move to Leeds, really. So they are massive misses for Salford. So now let's move on to who they've actually brought in to replace some of these players. So we've got Ethan Ryan from Hull KR, Nene McDonald from Leeds, Kai Morgan from Leeds, Matty Foster from Saints, Cade Cuss from Wigan, Joe Shorrocks from Wigan, Chris Hankinson from Fev, and Joe Mellor from Lee. Now, I think we start off with maybe Kai Morgan and Matty Foster. Easy to just say off the bat. Players for the future. I think they've got more chance at Salford to get some minutes in Super League than they did at the old clubs. So I think it's a good move for them. Good move for Salford to sort of bring in some of these players who have come through some of the best academies in the league and maybe just need a bit more game time that they're not getting at the current club. I think it's good business from Salford. Then you've got, Nene McDonald. We knew what happened back end of last season with Leeds and how that went. If you get the right Nene McDonald with his head screwed on, I think it's a great signing. But who knows what sort of head he's going to have screwed on when he's playing for Salford. Honestly, it's an exciting one, but it could go either way, really. Ethan Ryan. Really like Ethan Ryan. Always have as a Bradford fan myself. Loved him coming when he came up through us, and obviously he earned his move to Super League, and he did all right at KR. To be fair, probably didn't play as much as he would have liked. I think at Salford now, given they've lost the wingers, he will be first choice, which I think is good. And I think he's solid as well. He just does a job, and he can score tries as well. You got Cade Cuss from Wigan. I think half-back to replace Croft. I don't think he's as good as Croft, but I don't think he's the worst replacement in the world either. Keep him fit and he'll be absolutely fine. Shorrocks from Wigan, he's just a good middle to have. I think he's one of them where the way Wigan sort of have signing players this season, it made sense him leaving. But I do think he's still easily Super League quality and he'll do a good job at Salford. Mellor at Lee, I think it's an interesting one. Can play in the halves, can kind of do a job. I don't know if he'll necessarily be first choice. You've got, I think Custon Sneed will be, but I think he's not a bad option there as a third choice, really. Hankinson, again, kind of can play in a few positions, probably best position centre. He's not a bad signing. It's one of them, he's a weird one, Hankinson. He kind of has flirted between the Championship and Super League and never really kicked on, so we'll see how he gets on at Salford. And yeah, that's all the signings. It's a bit, when you look at who they've lost and who they've brought in, there is a bit of disparity really. You can see the decline in the quality really, at least the quality of the names. So that moves us on into sort of a conclusion. It's been well documented. It's pretty much the smallest squad in the league, and I mean they haven't as of this point they haven't released the squad numbers. So that tells you all you need to know. Really, there'll probably be more incomings as the season maybe starts and going through that for Salford. But it just the club as a whole, and Paul Rowley's come out and said it's just not looking great at the minute. And with all the players that have gone, they're working on the sort of a smaller budget and trying to get the players they've got together and in some sort of system. It's going to be a tricky. I think it'll be tricky at the beginning, definitely. They've lost so much star power. I mean, you look at. I know they've still got some. Don't get me wrong, they've still got some, but you know, just some of them players they've lost. It's like your Ackers and your Croft. They're big Super League players. Do you know what I mean? They're definitely, like I say, they're going to sign more players. I imagine. I don't know if that's going to be before the start of the season or as the season commences. They'll start bringing players in, but I think they might struggle to start with. I think Rowley is the man for a job. I like him. Good coach. I think he's the sort of coach they need to get this team playing well. So I do like him. I think he's the right man for the job. But I can see this as Salford starting off very slow. I mean, they've got Leeds first week. I think that could be a bit of a cricket score. I'm not going to lie. I think they'll start off slow, but as they bring in some more players, make sure everyone's fit, and get sort of that system working, I do see them. You know, not necessarily. I mean, we've got a Super League season preview podcast coming up soon, the week on the eve of the season, so you'll find out as actual where we're going to put them in our prediction then. But I don't necessarily see them getting playoffs, but I think they'll be safe come the end of the season. Basically, is what I'm saying. But I think they'll start off a bit slow, given the nature of their squad at the minute, and there's injuries to that squad as well. So. But yeah, that's Salford. Let us know, Salford fans, what you think and how you think you'll get on this year. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.